That's it. Sit down, lad.
There we go. We're live. We're rolling.
We are indeed. So, hi and welcome. This is Clockbait. This is our first YouTube video. My name's Anthony.
I'm Luke. Hello, internet.
And today we're going to do something that's never been done before. We are going to review a Rolex Submariner.
There's not enough of it on the internet.
No, there definitely isn't.
Not
so
enough.
Why not add one more?
Boom.
So yeah, first things first. Customary check. Customary wristwatch today.
I said it right.
Wristwatch? Wristwatch check. Yes, that's it. Customary wristwatch.
So as is the norm in these things, I think we always do wristwatch checks, don't we, on the internet? So what have you got on today, mate?
Today I have my 2005 Speedmaster Professional, but not your standard common one. It's the one with the moon phase. Common one. I know. Yeah. How about yourself?
I've got something on that started this whole stupid hobby. I've got an SKX. Yeah, it's kind of the thing that got me into, not necessarily got me into watches, but got me into the automatic watch world, and it kind of spiraled out of control from there, really. So we're wearing a SKX. It's what, 2016, I think. So they've not really changed in God knows how many years, but yeah, we've got that on today.
We're such cliches.
Yep.
The SKX 007 and a Speedy. Yep. And we're reviewing a sub. How common could it get?
You alright, dog?
The watch. Really, Munt? Right, Munt, go and sit down. More of an overpriced piece of junk. Munt, f off. So, yeah, so watch in question is basically my first proper luxury watch. I did have a tag before, but quartz, so I thought it was great. Overpriced piece of junk, really, but it looked nice. It served me well for 2 years, but 30th birthday, so I wanted a birthday watch. Looking at date just, wasn't I, first of all?
Yep.
And then it snowballed.
It does, yeah, it does. It always does with this hobby.
Yeah.
So it's a 1989.
Yep, 1989, yeah.
16610.
Yep, that's it. With the 31-35 caliber movement.
Perfect.
And it's got the tritium dial as well, which is a must. I mean, it's got service hands, which is a bit of a shame, and service bezel, but other than that, the patina's kind of there if you look really closely, but it's not really fantastic. But obviously we're bringing some fancy B-roll to show you a bit more of that. But yeah, as I say, first luxury watch. I was really happy with it, but kind of not overly bowled over, would I say?
I think that's kind of the purpose of the video, isn't it, really? I mean, every single video seems to be on subs is just singing the praises, which I still do. I still think they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. But I wear this very infrequently. I'll wear it from you occasionally, and I just fall in love with it every single time. But as someone that spends a lot of time with it, that's kind of the purpose of this video, is to really explore kind of the positives, and there are plenty of positives, but also from an ownership point of view, the negatives as well.
Yeah, so I see it as very overhyped. I know it's the must-have diver, and for people who have made it and all of that crap, but no, it's not as special, I don't think. The bezel I hate. I mean, it's rubbish. I know the newer ones are a lot better, but I mean, it's crap. It really is crap. The amount of force it takes to get round. I mean, it might just be this watch.
You need to get stronger forearms, mate.
Yeah, I need to build up my grip. Yeah, it just doesn't feel very nice, especially when you pick up like a Seiko and you wind the bezel on that, and it's fine. It sounds nicer, it feels nicer, but I know the perfect size. It is the right size.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, they fit so well on the wrist. They wear so well. You can wear it to any occasion. You really can.
I mean, this is obviously quite a bit bigger. Was it 42? These, aren't they?
Yeah, 42 mil.
And obviously this is 40, and I don't have the biggest wrists, so I think 40 fits quite nicely. It fits very well. Sits on the wrist lovely. And
what I do love about them, one thing I do love about them is the thickness. I think the thickness, what is it, 12 mil, which is, for a diver, especially when you used to wearing something like this on a NATO strap, which sits around about 16 foot away from your wrist.
And that is ginormous. Well, with the NATO strap as well.
On
just
these
kind
little
of
dainty wrists. Yeah, but you do notice it straight away. You do notice it straight away, the actual thickness of it, so that's always a massive positive.
And the biggest hate is the attention it grabs. But once people do know, I mean, it does sit under the radar because it's not like obnoxious and green.
Just tell people it's a Steinhardt.
Yeah, that's what I should do. But everyone, as soon as they notice it, they say either how much was it, or is it real? And
that's the one. But I think you get that with any Rolex. So I mean, I don't own a Rolex. I don't own one, but I can imagine that's the first thing that people say, especially not watch muggles, not people that aren't into them at all, but the people that kind of know tag, Rolex, Omega.
Yeah.
Then the first thing that they'll ask is it real?
Yeah.
With that many snides going about.
Which, to be fair, is no fault of the watch. It's because so many people are running around with knockoff Nigel ones that they bought in some dodgy place in Turkey or the likes, or there's just so many like homages as well, and I'm not a great fan of homages anyway. I mean, so
it's a funny one, isn't it? Really, the homage thing with these, because there are so many ones that go around. I mean, you could even argue the SKX is a slight homage. I mean, they've got the same kind of indices.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And then again, where'd you draw the line? Like, where'd you draw the line? Can you say that most divers?
Yeah, it's a bezel. It's got 12-hour points on it. It's it's classic. So I just think it's a victim of its own success.
That's one thing that I have to really respect Rolex on. Since the X amount of years they produced these, fair enough, you've got slightly bigger lugs now, you have the maxi case, bigger indices, but they've really kind of stuck to the same recipe because it's a successful watch. It looks amazing, you can wear it, like I said, at any occasion, and it's a Rolex sub. It's, aside from, in my opinion, the Speedmaster, it's probably the most iconic watch in the world. It kind of, I think them two are kind of a cut above the rest. Especially
very, very much the same. And then I tried Luke's Speedy on afterwards for like 2 hours, couldn't get that out of my head, and that's a shame. I was wearing this that day, and then I decided to put the Speedy on, and I fell in love with the Speedy, which is just downright stupid because it's almost double the cost.
Exactly right.
And it doesn't feel double the cost. I mean, the bracelet is crap. I mean, I know this is resolved on the newer ones, but it's just flimsy, it's horrible. This clasp is just, I've got no trust in it. And going on from the trust as well, I'm conscious I've got it on all the time. And when you're on the tube, and especially when it's busy, it's always busy on the tube. You've got your hand up, your sleeve comes down, and you're trying to shove it back under your sleeve.
As a disclaimer, I should mention, we both work in London, so I know what it's like. I'm like it when I'm wearing any watch, really. But especially when you have that on. If you're on the tube and your arm's up, your shirt thingy, the cuff?
Yeah,
cuff, not cuff, collar. You don't want
collar's around here, mate.
But when that slips down.
And especially with all of the news at the moment with people getting stabbed and robbed, you hear all these horror stories.
I love London.
So, yeah, London's a fantastic place. Everyone should visit. But yeah, it panics me every time I've got it on. So yeah, my biggest gripe is it just doesn't feel special enough not to warrant the cost.
Which is, in my opinion, mad. I love wearing it. It does feel special, but
that's because it's a Rolex, and because of its like what everyone wants. The heritage. And you think about the history of like, is it 50s, isn't it? It comes from
50. I don't know. Someone will correct me on this. 54.
54, yeah, and 53 was the Turnograph, which was the other bezeled Rolex beforehand. Which it makes up for it. That is incredibly special when you think about it. But I mean, yeah, it isn't all it's cracked up to be, unfortunately. It's not to say I want to get rid of it. I still will always keep it. I think this will always be in my collection.
I mean, look at it. Look at it though. Look how good it looks. Yeah. I mean, we touched on before the kind of size of the lugs, and it wears so well on the wrist. And my favourite one is this age, but the non-date, which I love. But I mean, I can let that slide.
That's it. So it's like not the other argument, non-date or date sub. I know to say that the Cyclops, obviously, it kind of makes it, it's almost like Mike from Monsters Inc. really. It's just one-eyed, just kind of looking a bit crooked.
No one has ever made that comparison ever. No one's ever made that comparison.
But I have to have a date, and the only other thing I would go for, because I'm used to the Cyclops now, I quite like it. Is it the Sea Dweller that doesn't have Cyclops but it still has a date?
It's a bit thicker.
But it's a lot thicker.
And my favourite thing about the whole thing is the size.
Yeah,
the size.
And it really is the perfect size. And when you compare this with the newer ones, I just think they look so much more in proportion. They look awkward.
It's a classic shape.
So yeah, basically, although it's not what it doesn't live up to what it should do. After all the hype, and I thought I was going to be mega excited when it come, which I was. As soon as I was unboxing, it did feel very special. But as soon as I started playing with it and putting it on, I was like, I've got to stop thunking. None of these watches are going to last long in my collection if I just keep smacking them on the table all the time.
We touched on the bracelet a bit before as well, but one thing that is perfect about these, which I don't know why every single watch doesn't do this, jeweled lugs. Jeweled lugs is brilliant because it wears, it's like the Speedmaster in that respect, it wears anything really well. You wear it on the black NATO.
Yeah, Bark and Jack, yeah, shout out to you. Completely the all black NATO he does, it wears absolutely lovely on that, and it's even more comfortable then, which is fantastic. But obviously it just doesn't feel as nice as a bracelet, but for going into London it kind of dulls it down a little bit, so I do quite like to put it on.
It puts it on under the radar a little bit, doesn't it?
Which is perfect for London.
And when you've not got the bracelet on, with you being as hand-fisted as you are,
yeah, I don't scratch it. I mean, I've only had it 2 months, and I have started to scratch the clasp a little bit, so it is a good idea for me to put it on different straps. And I'm after a really battered, like horrible looking brown leather strap. I think it'd look really well
on a brown leather NATO, I think.
Yeah,
that'd look good.
Yeah, definitely. And we see a very, is it a 60s vintage one the other night on the Time for a Pint event?
We did indeed.
And that had a really, oh god knows, I'm no good at references. No. Yeah, I just about remember what day it is. That's why I have to have a date on my watch, let alone remembering the references. But they just look fantastic on most things, to be honest. I mean, I felt like an absolute tool. Went out wearing a suit for a meal, and I was wearing a dive with a suit. I don't know, it kind of worked, it kind of didn't, but yeah, I did feel a bit.
Desk diving, dinner diving.
Yeah, literally diving everywhere with this one.
I'm going to try and think of someone else to stay down with diving at the end.
No, yeah, it's a family show, yeah. So yeah, ultimately, I don't think it is as special as what it's hyped up to be, but you do.
I love it. I do. Every time I wear this, I don't know. It just feels special. Whether it's just the fact it's a Rolex, and maybe it's a novelty for me because I don't own a Rolex myself currently. Yeah. But no, I absolutely love it. I do. Everything about it. I love the fact it's tritium dial one. It's cool, and just that, I don't know, the thin lugs, it fits so well on the wrist. It's a lovely watch. It is lovely. It's very special, but don't expect it to be some stupidly good quality, amazing timepiece, because it isn't. It really isn't. But does that detract away from me wanting to own it? No, definitely not. Not at all. It'll always stay in my collection, no matter what I get. It's a staple, really. It's got to be had. So yeah, I think we've wrapped up. I mean, the Rolex Submariner is probably the most reviewed watch on YouTube, and you can find anything else that we've not covered just by typing in sub, just go and buy one. We are Clockbait. Give us a follow on Instagram at Clockbait, and we are going to try and get out a few more of these videos if it goes down all right. Hopefully. With a bit of luck. Yeah. So yeah, give us a like and a subscribe. And pretty please. Pretty please. I'm not gonna beg. I am. Please. So yeah, see you next time. Au revoir. Bye.